Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max the Max's models here, and at least my eyes are back to normal. That's a good thing. So, quick Gus update. He will now come out from under the bed if I'm in the room, if my wife's there, as long as I don't move or make any threatening eye contact. And he'll stay out for a minute or so before he goes back under the bed. Anywho, it's progress. He's only been here 3 days. So this morning I'm flipping through my latest edition of Fine Scale Modeler, and I think, oh, you know what? This morning I need to go out and get the air conditioner going in the Tarbis to get it cooled down. So I go out there just to flip on the AC and the lights. And of course, while you're there, you're like, oh, you know what? Take me 5 minutes to finish off that little wagon train diorama. So I grab the Humbrol Smart Mud and, tackle all that on there, start playing with it. And the next thing I know, of course, 30 minutes or more has gone by, but I'm pretty much done. I had clipped off the little bases of their feet and glued them in place and everything and let it set. But for a quick and dirty little diorama off of a 50-year-old Airfix kit, I'm not the least bit disappointed in this. It was actually a little more fun than I expected. I got to play with both the Smart Mud and that new Sculpt mold, so both of them real easy to work with. I mixed the mud with white glue. While I was at it, I figured, you know what, real quick, I'll just start the white coats on the Dragonfly. I got started on that. So then it's back into the house, breakfast, and flip through the magazine, little stuff on the internet. Then back out. I'm like, you know what? As long as I've got my diorama stuff out, let's just get cracking on some of these things I've had on the back burner. So how about the World Cruiser diorama that I've had sitting in the back of the Tarbis forever? So I start working on it. I tried to use the Aqua Magic, which I had used on the little cowboy diorama for the creek, but I just didn't have enough of it. And what I did looked terrible because I didn't have enough. So I was like, I'm going to have to think of something else. So let me just get to work on the airplanes and we'll think about it later. Well, it dawned on me that I still had the little pontoon holding stand of fake water, plastic water, for the hot kit of the PT-20, which, as you know, comes with floats or wheels option. In fact, of all the model PT-20s, I think it's the only one that gives you the floats option. And wouldn't you know it, the airplane actually fit perfectly. So now it was time to undo the mess I'd made, go ahead and make like a little boat launch, and then put the wood cut out styrofoam, put it in there, and start using the mold sculpt. And I mixed the mold sculpt and the Smart Mud, which worked perfectly. And it gives you work time, but it's set up nicely. No squawks there. So I'm making my way on that. I go back, I'm talking to Steve of Steve's Model Mania, and I'm putting the very last coat on the Johnny Quest Dragonfly. And while I'm on the phone with him, I literally, the last bit of spray in the rattle can using Tamiya lacquers. And it's like done. Don't touch a thing, and wouldn't you know, without me touching it or anything, it just decides to fall over. So I reach out and I manage to grab it or stop it with my thumb, but that left this nasty thumbprint right in the middle of wet paint. And poor Steve got an earful of blue language that still hangs as a dark cloud over the St. Johns River as we speak. And you guys know who I'm paraphrasing there. Anywho, so I was just cursing up a storm, and Steve's like, yeah, I'll chat with you later. Like, yeah, talk to you later there, buddy. Sorry about that, Steve. Hope your drums are okay. So let everything harden, sanded it down. I didn't have the right shade of white left, so luckily I was covering it in flat white. And I had some flat white acrylic set up for the spray gun, so sanded it down, went over with the spray gun, and managed to get a nice even coat, and it looks fine now. But, oh, man, it was not fun to be around when that happened. And so that's done, and I'm letting everything harden out now. I'll get back to some stuff maybe tomorrow or whenever, but at least progress is being made on the dioramas. I'm going to have to make some room for them. Some of them are pretty big, so I'll probably have to clear off my junk shelf. And then it was like 4:20 in the afternoon by the time I got all this done, I looked down and realized I'm still in my pajamas, which I guess is a good thing. So anyway, guys, that's what happened today. Now I'm working on stuff for the live stream. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of weird stuff, some of it unrelated. including whatever happened to the Electra Woman and Dyna Girl car. And that's been a harder research project than we thought. A lot of people online are having trouble. Some people think it's a Barris car. So we're going to talk about that. I didn't even realize they did a remake in 2016. So, I mean, we're talking about Sid and Marty Krofft superheroes here. But there is somebody who out there who does make a resin for about over $100, does do a resin Dyna Girl Electra car. But if you can find out anything about that car, be ready to leave some comments or send me an email during the live stream, because it's been really hard to research. In fact, dare I say, if I may paraphrase Professor Fate from one of the greatest movies ever made, The Great Race. Let's see that great Dan Monroe research that one. Okay, guys. Hopefully we're going to have Dan on the show here sometime in the not too distant future. We're trying to put it together. But he's a busy, busy guy. Guys, take care of yourselves. We will talk at you later. And as always, model on.